Most people believe that countries like China, North Korea, or the Soviet Union were communist. But what if I told you there has never been a true communist country in history? Sounds crazy, right? Because for decades we've been taught that communism shaped global politics. Entire wars were fought over it. Nations divided because of it. But here's the twist. Those countries were not actually communist. At least, not in the way communism was originally defined. So what is real communism? And why has no country ever achieved it? To understand this, we need to go back. Not to Russia, not to China, but to a man in the 1800s. A philosopher who changed how we think about society forever. His name was Karl Marx. Marx lived during a time of massive change. The Industrial Revolution was transforming everything. Factories were growing, cities were expanding. But life for workers? It was brutal. Imagine waking up before sunrise, working 14 hours a day, and still barely surviving. Children worked, families struggled, and there were no safety nets. Meanwhile, factory owners were becoming extremely wealthy. Marx saw this growing gap and believed something was deeply wrong. He argued that the system itself created inequality. He divided society into two groups: the bourgeoisie, the rich owners, the proletariat, the workers. And according to him, this imbalance wasn't temporary. It was built into the system. He believed it would eventually lead to a massive revolution, a moment when workers would rise up, take control, and completely reshape society. But here's where things get interesting. What Marx imagined and what actually happened later in history are not the same thing at all. And that difference is the key to understanding everything. At its core, communism is surprisingly simple. It follows one powerful idea: from each according to ability to each according to need. On the surface, it feels fair. If you're strong, you contribute more. If you need more, you receive more. No competition, no extreme wealth, no poverty, just equality. In fact, in true communism, there is no money, no private property, no government. Yes, no government at all. Everything is shared collectively. Factories, land, resources, all belong to everyone equally. Imagine waking up every day, not to earn money, but to contribute to society. And in return, society ensures you have everything you need: food, shelter, healthcare, education. It sounds like a perfect world, almost too perfect. That's why many people describe it as a utopia. But here's something important. Communism isn't just about economics. It's also about removing power structures. No rich class, no ruling class, no hierarchy. Everyone is equal. But Marx knew something important. He knew society couldn't jump directly into this system. You can't go from competition to complete equality overnight. So he introduced a transition phase. This phase is called socialism. In socialism, the government temporarily controls major industries. The goal is to reduce inequality and prepare society for communism. So the journey looks like this: capitalism, socialism, communism. But here's the problem. That transition phase is where things start to go wrong, because giving the government that much power comes with serious risks. And history shows those risks became reality. In 1917, something changed the world forever: the Russian Revolution. For the first time, workers tried to turn Marx's ideas into reality. The monarchy was overthrown. The old system collapsed. And under Vladimir Lenin, a new system began. At first, it looked like progress. Workers gained rights. Working hours were reduced. Education expanded. For many, it felt like a new beginning. But slowly, the system started to shift. Instead of people controlling production, the government took control. Factories were nationalized. Land was redistributed. And while this was meant to help the people, it also centralized power. Then came Joseph Stalin, and everything changed. The government became stricter. Freedom of speech disappeared. Opposition was crushed. millions of people suffered under forced policies and famine. And this wasn't just Russia. Similar patterns appeared in other countries. China under Mao, North Korea, Vietnam. Each claimed to follow communism, but none actually reached it. Why? Because instead of becoming stateless, they became more controlled. Instead of equality, there was hierarchy. Instead of freedom, there was fear. So what we call communist countries were not truly communist. They were systems where the state replaced private owners, which is very different from Marx's vision. And this raises a critical question. If the idea is so powerful, why does it fail when people try to implement it? There are two main reasons why communism struggles in reality. The first is human nature. Think about incentives. In most systems, people work harder to earn more. They innovate, compete, and improve. But in communism, everyone receives based on need, not effort. So, what happens? If you work harder, you still get the same reward. If you work less, you still get the same reward. Over time, motivation starts to drop. People begin to ask, why should I push myself? And when enough people think this way, productivity declines. Innovation slows down. The system begins to weaken. The second reason is even more powerful: concentration of power. Communism aims to remove inequality. But in practice, it often creates a different kind of inequality. When the government controls everything, jobs, food, housing, resources, it holds enormous power, and power can corrupt. Without competition or opposition, leaders face fewer consequences. Decisions go unchecked, corruption grows, and eventually, the system becomes less about equality and more about control. This is why many so-called communist systems became authoritarian, not necessarily because the idea demanded it, but because the structure allowed it. And once power is centralized, it's very hard to give it back. Not exactly, because even though full communism has never existed, its ideas have influenced the modern world in powerful ways. Think about it. Public education, universal health care, worker rights. These didn't appear randomly. They were shaped by ideas about fairness and equality, ideas that came in part from communist thinking. Even today, most countries are not purely capitalist. They are mixed systems. They combine free markets with social support systems. Countries like Sweden or Canada use this balance successfully. They take the efficiency of capitalism and combine it with the fairness of social policies. And it works. So maybe the real lesson isn't about choosing one system. Maybe it's about balance. Pure communism may be too idealistic. Pure capitalism may create inequality, but somewhere in between is where most societies function best. And that's the real story. Communism didn't fail completely, it evolved. Its ideas adapted. And today, even if we don't realize it, we are still living with parts of it. So next time someone says this country is communist, take a step back and ask yourself, is it really communism or just something inspired by it? Because the truth might surprise you. The system that changed the world has never truly existed.